Hello everybody, welcome! It's time for Children of Rath. We're continuing our ongoing adventures in the Magic the Gathering world of Dominaria. We're playing D&D 5th edition. If you're new to joining us, that's kind of the setup. So if you're familiar with D&D, great! If you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, also great! You'll know a little bit of the world setting as we're building it up. If you're familiar with both, even greater! That's true. I mean, both are owned by wizards, so our Dark Lord and Master, Wizards of the Coast. All hail. It's like saying, their Dark Lord's Hasbro. I know. All hail the Dark Lord's Hasbro. Anyway, before I get too off topic, because I'm trying to, why don't we have people... We'll go our kind of color wheel kind of thing that we've been doing every week. Give a shout out to your character, and just a little bit about what's going on with them. We've got to start with Lindsay and Wintress.
I always feel singled out because I always have to go first.
That's the only thing is, like, your core, so, like, I chose white, and I've just been going through the color wheel each time, and, like, a magic set goes white, blue, black, red, green. That's how the card orders. So that's what I've just been going on.
Well, Wintress was out of it. I'm out of it today. My throat hurts. Mm-hmm. Wintress was like following people, I think. I don't remember what she was doing. Mm-hmm. There's some weird things that were happening last time. I think we're leaving to go on a boat now.
Yep.
So we're boat people again. We really like boats.
Well, why don't we turn then to Joe and Claude?
Claude is just happy we survived a dragon.
For now.
And ready to get off this hellish place.
Oh my god, it's the Return of Boat Associates, you're right. God.
Where's Tools when you need her?
Oh god.
Tearing the heart out of someone and eating it. Anyway. Let's go to Lee and Carfred. Not Lee and Maxwell. Oh my god, my brain just died because of the boat associates. I blame you, Mads.
Maxwell's doing alright. He's kind of happy to be away from the fiery lava reef from Sonic and Knuckles. And it's good. It's nice and cozy. Water merman place sounds cool. I'm excited. He is too.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to breathe, so you have a distinct advantage over your entire set of teammates.
I don't have to breathe.
Yeah, you know.
Does he have lungs either?
No, he's got like dead powers. But I think I think the difference between you is he's affected by pressure, and you're not.
Ah, sweet.
You're just bones. Deep pressure, not really much of effect to you. He has you know, squishy organs and stuff.
Oh boy.
They're not that important.
Well, how about Fish and Kazran as he's trying to drink?
Yeah, you're fine. Hi, Kazaran's doing pretty good. He's excited to see possible submersible. That's technology. He likes that.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty much just going to be like an apparatus of Qualish on steroids, but you know. And then finally we'll end up with...
Steroids?
And yes. With Mads and Carrion.
Listen, Carrie's just super excited because there's a library, and that's, like, her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Barbarian that likes libraries. Don't at me.
What? I was gonna say... Barbarian?
Barlarian.
Ah, God, I don't know. I'm trying. It's not working.
Barbarian.
Barbarian, yeah.
Barbarian.
I just spent like time trying to figure out what the word would be.
Listen, I've learned that I could definitely like multi-class into wizard, and that might happen.
But anyway, so you found yourselves, of course, returning to the small port town on the edge of Bogardan, where you've been visiting repeatedly in order to take care of your business. Of course, you now have Radiant, who is planning to join with you on your adventures as you will travel again. She has for whatever reason, has this urge to come with you. And so she's asked, and, well, you just said, sure. So, a day will pass. I think we kind of, like, worked out a lot of the stuff that you were going to be doing over the course of the day as you kind of relax, having coming back from meeting with a horrible dragon who probably threatened your life, like, 7 or 8 times in the course of that entire conversation. At least.
It happens.
There's probably some subtle threats to your life, too.
Fine.
Mm-hmm. So, in the next day, though, Nim will kind of come up to all of you as you're kind of relaxing and having breakfast. He's like, I finally managed to arrange things. We should be leaving shortly. Now, it's going to be about a 3-week journey to where we're heading to. We're heading to Sala, and the city of Orvada happens to be the capital of the Dracovin Empire. So, that's a thing.
Indeed.
It's been a while since I've been to Orvada, so if you have any questions, I can answer them. As for the associate we're attempting to get to, just to offer you a little bit of, warning. The man
Did you
is...
sleep with their mother, too?
No. No, nothing of the such. But, it's just that he has, I'm going to have fine with him. It's just there might be some difficulties you're going to be encountering with the man. Let me put it this way. He is both a teacher at the Talarian Academy in Orvada, and he is also a prominent member of one of the major merchant families in the Orvadian Empire. He still holds his post within his family, meaning he has great influence within the Empire. And we might have to meet with him, rather than as a teacher, as a merchant, depending on what he is doing. And that will also affect his attitude, and perhaps what we would have to negotiate with him. If you understand, he's a man of multiple faces, in a way.
I understand that very well.
Oh, yes.
I'd never pass up a chance to do merchantry, especially in Nevada. That was the name of the place we were going to, correct, Nim?
Orvada.
Ah, yes. I get Orvada and Nevada confused. Both of them are the lands of paradise.
That reminds me, what is the climate where we're going? I'm assuming less volcano.
Yes. It will be a little to the north, more temperate. It's very similar, if you've ever been to Benalia and to southern Arona, it's a very similar attitude to that. The forests are much like my own, at least in temperate-wise, of Lanawa, my home. So, yes, I guess that's about it. I'll try to prepare you as best I can for what we'll be encountering. If I can think of anything else that I should probably warn you about. Probably. I'm sure there's some things I'm forgetting, and I'll have to remember, but don't worry, I'll come up with them and let you know. Anyway, so yes, the boat, yes, that was the other thing I was going to, inform you of. Yes, we've managed to, did manage to procure, travel on a boat. So we're going to be traveling on the Zuriel. It's actually a ship, out of, Orvada, so it's heading home now. They loaded up on a number of goods from the continent here, or from the island here. Now traveling with them back to Orvada, the city. I probably should just call it the Orvadan Empire, just to... It's confusing, because the island area is known as Orvada, and there's a city named Orvada. I don't understand why people would name that sort of thing. Who names a land and the city the same thing? It just confuses folks.
It's so nice they named it twice.
Apparently. So, we'll be leaving this evening. They're actually departing early evening. So if there's any final things you need in the city, go ahead and take care of them. I'll be actually going aboard the ship and securing our quarters. It is a little smaller than the last ship, so there will be 2 rooms that I was able to acquire there. I'm planning on sharing it with Claude, Maxwell. You 2 will be staying with me. The other 4 of you will be staying in your own room then too. It seems that the women do not mind Kazarin's presence.
Why would we mind Blue's presence? Good color.
Huh?
The tiny one is welcome.
It doesn't take up as much room.
True.
So we can explore the town now, right?
You can check things out if you wanted to. You have about half a day if you want to do anything final in town.
What's in town?
As a Bogardan port town, it does seem to have this interesting mixture of what appears to be culture from outside and culture from Bogardan itself. A lot of the people on Bogardan are more nomadic than anything and have very few permanent housing. Except for a small few port towns and small cities like small villages like the one you saw, which are specifically under protectorates, you don't find major colonies within it, even nowadays. The people of Bogardan are just they kind of flow like a raging fire.
And can we buy an ordnance?
You could buy an ordnance.
I don't think I want to. But good to know.
We need one of us to practice it.
Someone that has lips.
Well, I can blow it for you, and you can figure it.
Gonna need more alcohol.
That's good teamwork right there. Oh man.
Let me be the lips beneath your wings.
Oh no. Claude, are you sure you're right in the head today?
Am I ever really?
Or any of us?
I'm not.
Does this town have like a? Because you were nomads, right? Is there like a? What do nomads do?
There's
like
well,
a ritual
again, like
place.
this is probably where people have settled. Most of the people that are here are not nomads at this point in time. They have they seem to have an area, like a trading area, where specifically, like, if they would go to you, they would shoo you away, and you can see that it's a place for nomads to bring in stuff and take out stuff too. There's like a trading post for people of Bogardan.
I see, but not for outsiders.
There is a general store that's closer to the dock area because there are merchants coming in too. So it's like you have some population of people that have come here to live, some older people that seem to have settled down just because older, and a couple of younger people that are curious of the outside world, basically taking advantage of this kind of in between. I don't want to quite leave home, but I want to experience the outside world. I'll live here, kind of thing.
Okay.
And that seems to be like the essence of these port towns, which there's probably about like half a dozen major port towns along the coastline in various places in Bogardan, and this just happens to be one of them.
You guys want to check out the general store?
Sure.
Bargain shopping away.
There's a young man in kind of like these You saw some clothing similar to this in the villagers in the in Mount Red Rock. That each of them, like the hunters, seem to have like certain kind of garb that they wore. It's kind of like very like oranges, redishes. It actually matches because a lot of the soil here has this kind of reddish color to it. It's like kind of a brownish red. So the coloring of their outfits does actually blend in with the soil a lot, rather than the very few bits of plant life. It also does seem to cover up in such a way because it is a hot land. You know, it is protection from, like, the various types of heat that are around. It's probably a derivative, or if not, something very similar to what the nomads would wear. It seems like just it's a general outfit within Bogardan anyway. The man himself is probably in his 20s. He doesn't have like the kind of face wrap and head wrap on. He just has the basic outfit on. He just seems to be kind of like leaning across a counter. The counter has a number of small trinkets on it that look to be made of like various forms of like obsidian, and like maybe like one looks like it's like a red glass. And various other kind of things. The store itself has a number of supplies. It looks like things that, like, a lot of stuff that maybe sailors might be interested, or travelers, definitely. There's a couple of, like, extra, like, sets of, like, backpacks that seem to, like, have specialized gear for traveling within a volcanic region. And then, of course, like, a couple of things that probably, like, a sailor might want, like dice sets, things like that. Little game sets. The man will kind of like look at it. Ah, travelers. Staying long? Traveling soon? Can I offer you anything? A taste of our land if you're not staying long. Something to reflect that you have been here.
A souvenir?
Yes.
I might like a souvenir. It could be.
Kind sir, I don't suppose you have any scuba gear, do you?
What?
You know, those magical devices that allow you to breathe underwater?
You mean magic?
Yes, albeit in a portable form and a bit more tangible and less
I've
theoretical.
never heard of that sort of thing.
Ah. Perhaps it may only be from the far eastern lands.
No, and there are no fishermen within Bogardan. At least not that would travel deep into the sea and in need of any kind of tools like that. Occasionally we have those that bring in fish, but most of the time it's just the rivers, and they're hunting within it.
I see. What is what's this red glass trinket you have?
Ah,
Tell me more.
it is lava glass from the Red Sands Desert.
You have to wake me up.
Or tomorrow morning I have to wake you up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my dad
Uh-huh. Okay.
thinks so you might have to.
Okay, go. I'm on stream now. Go.
I know, but he said
Mm-hmm. I'll wake you up tomorrow morning. Oh boy, you gotta set my alarm differently.
Why, kind merchant, who is that adorable store assistant helping you out?
It is my young niece who has has trouble helping me out. She is perhaps too young to help out at the store right now. But my sister, she was injured and could not travel with the tribe, and therefore has moved in upstairs with her children.
I see. Okay. So this red glass we were
Yes.
speaking of, this red trinket, lava glass?
It is lava glass that comes from the red sand flats, an area to the north with a kind of coarse sand made from some old lava slides, and occasionally when a fresh one moves in, it will create this kind of reddish glass that can therefore afterwards be taken and with a proper smith or craftsman be shaped.
It looks very aesthetically beautiful. Does it serve any functional purpose or merely aesthetic?
Most of the time aesthetic. Occasionally, some of the shamans of our tribes will use these as markers. As you can see, most of them are shaped like the wild flame itself of Bogardan.
I look to Carrion, and I say, don't you think that would complement your horns pretty well?
Listen, I have like zero money. Like zero money. I can't add anything more to my horns that's already there.
Claude, how much do we have in the group fund?
Plenty.
Excuse me, kind sir, how much is this trinket?
It is a decent price, but one that I could sell you. It is 20 gold. There aren't these are, again, rare. You must wait for a proper lava flow into the area to create them. So it often requires, and it requires you to gather that quite quickly. The winds that sweep through there after the lava oftentimes break up these and reduce them back to the sands with which they came. The sharp obsidian which would tear into the flesh of any. So therefore only the bravest must face the heat and bring back the shards in order to forge them.
I see. What if we told you that we have a lovely benefactor who highly demands that that we retrieve said trinket for him, and said benefactor is a ancient dragon?
I would say that makes no sense, and also roll a deception roll.
I lost track of how to phrase this halfway in the middle. I'm like, well, I gotta think of something.
You went for an ancient dragon?
I don't know.
He went for an ancient dragon. Oh, it's a 12. That's not a great roll. Dragon. Perhaps, unless it would be from another land, it was sure not to be a Bogardan dragon. They care not for these trinkets.
From Shiv. I'm a goblin. You see, I'm from Shiv. We know Shivian things.
Ugh. Well, I'm sorry, but Shivan dragons are not welcome in Bogardan. So therefore...
Well, no, that's why we're here and not the dragon.
Oh, then spend your dragon's money. That means you could spend more. Do you want me to double it? You could keep some money to yourselves. For the
dragon
gold.
is in a bit of a rough financial situation.
How does that happen?
The Civil War is preventing us from acquiring gold from foreign lands.
This makes no sense. I've heard of no dragon wars within Shiv.
It's Shiv. There's always dragon wars.
I mean, it's not Bogardan.
It's a global conflict, like warming.
What? You are
Surely you must be aware of the warming epidemic.
From all the dragon's breath.
Yeah.
Sir, you are telling quite a tall tale, but does not change my price if that is what you are trying to do. You seem to be very good at weaving the tales.
I'm an excellent storyteller, my good sir. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes the tale is just a little tad bit unbelievable.
Tad?
It's been a long walk.
So, are you going to buy it or not?
I'm going to pass on it, personally.
Alright then.
How much for a smaller obsidian trinket?
Ah, yes. We do have some obsidian trinkets. He's gonna look over, he's gonna kind of like move over and pull out like a little case of some things. It's like, just like a little box that kind of holds things in place, you know, something very simple. Yes, these are what I have here. We do have much more obsidian, of course. Much easier to gather, much easier to do. If you're looking for small trinkets, we have a couple of small, these here, shaped like dragons. A ring with the obsidian kind of shape in it. It represents a flame, an obsidian flame. Here, we have a couple of symbols. These are various symbols used to represent some of the dragon lords within this place. You can use it as a necklace if you want. Of course, Roverim is our most popular one, as he is the lord in this region. But there are others that we can offer you if you are looking to give respect to a dragon. And usually I would say if you were traveling in Bogardan, going to certain areas, bring one of these. They will, you will less likely end up in a volcano.
How much for the ring?
Ah, the ring. It is only 5 gold for the ring.
Oh, I think I will purchase the ring.
As beautiful as Obsidian is, if we were looking for an actual gemstone, much more expensive, but it is just a simple silver ring with the obsidian flame instilled into it.
I think I will stick with just the flame instilled in it.
Yes,
I don't want anything too flashy.
Of course.
What say we can get an outsider discount on this, my good sir?
Outsiders often are charged more. You are lucky. I like your goblin friend. He actually bought something from me.
True.
Also, I am probably the most honest merchant in all of town here.
You certainly look honest.
Yes. Mostly because the rest of the merchants tend to be either people that hate outsiders or are outsiders. You take your pick. And the outsiders are oftentimes very tricky. And if they hate you, they might not even sell to you, for those that are natives.
I appreciate your honesty.
Do you have any trinkets that aren't dragons?
Ah, yes, we do have a few. This one here is of lizard.
Not the lizards again.
Lizards are good. Hey.
Is there any blood inside?
Are there any that are mostly plain, like rings or stars, other than the ring that my friend here just bought?
No. There's a couple of other beasts of Bogardan that we do show off. Here, from this one here, as he like puts this kind of like strange, like hunched over, like horrible-looking creature. This is in the heart of the Bogardan volcanoes. You will sometimes find the Rager, an elemental of most fearsome, deadly fire. And of course, another elemental is this one here. It kind of looks like a cross between like a human, a warthog with like a mane of fire on it. This is the Fire Fiend, known to burn all around them. And of course, one of our more popular ones for tourists. This one here, the Phoenix. The Bogardan Phoenixes are famous. It is rare if you should see one. Even rarer if you should see its rebirth.
How big are these trinkets?
Like golf ball sized. They're just chunks of obsidian that have been shaped into something. You can see that they were pretty decently shaped, and you can kind of get an idea of the shape of them, but they're definitely not, like, super detailed. Like, it's like the warthog thing you can see, it's got, like, kind of tusks and kind of, like, a piggish face on, like, a sort of humanoid body with this kind of, like, strange, like, wild hair, almost, that, like, looks kind of like some of the flames they do. The Rager looks like some kind of weird hunched-over, horned reptilian, maybe, creature. And, of course, the Phoenix is like a big bird that looks like it's kind of maybe shaped to fire.
How much for the Phoenix?
Ah! The statuettes. They are 7 gold apiece.
I tap my foot impatiently.
I look over. Do you want it?
It'd be a nice addition to my horns.
I could put together
Unless
like,
anyone else wants it, otherwise...
I could put together like a wire cage for it so you could hang them.
Ooh.
And I was going to say, how are you going to attach a figurine to your horns?
With some effort, man. She's already got like 7 piercings in her horns.
You're a very odd one. Was your father a minotaur?
No, my mother was a demon.
Ooh. How does that work? I thought they were all very vicious and giant and just devour the souls of humanity. At least that's what the people say about Orborg. It is filled with demons and dead. That is why our lords and our lord dragons have always fought with them.
Urborg demons are a special kind of demon, if you catch my drift.
They are able to have relations?
Some of them.
That is very strange.
You know, knock it till you try it.
Try having a mother that's a demon. Anyway, yes, I'll take the phoenix.
Alright.
I take it there's only one of each of those, right?
It's all he has right now.
Okay.
He had like 3 dragons of different, like, they look very similar to each other, you know.
Okay. You want me to take that out of the group fund?
No, I took it out of mine.
Oh,
I
okay.
have
You
20
still had
gold.
money?
I have 20 gold. Now I have 13.
You were saying you were broke.
Well, you have the same amount of gold I do.
I have
I have
78.
3 gold personally.
Jesus.
I buy drugs a lot. I need money.
I have 78 gold. I do work on boats.
Honestly.
I have 3 gold, 4 silver, and 5 copper.
Wintress
we-
just has 5.
Shall we move along, friends? Did we get what we needed?
Yes, I got the souvenir.
I feel very sorry for you for being from Urborg. Ugh.
What's that
It's not
supposed
the
to
worst-
mean?
It's not the worst that I've gotten. Usually they spit on me.
It's not a pretty place.
I am very open-minded and I can understand how you can have things happen and you get born. And no one
See,
would
that's
want to
better
come
than
from
usual.
Urborg, especially nowadays. I guess it's better than it used to be.
How bad is Urborg?
Ah! Pretty awful? Let's
Oh, okay.
let's just describe Urborg. It's a land of volcanoes, swamps,
Oh, nice.
undead, an evil demon worshipping cult, demons that aren't part of the evil demon worshipping cult, in general too, ancient Phyrexian war machines and or weapons of mass destruction which are still sitting around in said swamp, a giant death tower that's sitting there, that's the stronghold of Wrath in the center of it. Yeah. That's just a little bit of it.
Are there any lions, tigers, or bears?
If
Oh
they
my.
are, they're undead.
So Florida.
As
Also,
a Floridian, can confirm.
I
Lots of
resent that
witches.
as a Florid.
necromancers, yeah.
More and more like Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
You resent that or resemble that?
hmm So, there's definitely a lot of bad things. There used to be much nicer. There used to be a race of panther warriors, but they have pretty much been wiped out. There's very few of them left. The Cabal basically
Great. All right.
waged a war and murdered most of them because they were the protectors of Urborg after the Mending. So, yep.
There's not many nice places in Wrath.
Well, in Urborg. Urborg is an awful place. Yes.
Well, I mean, in the whole world in general.
Well, also, the technical corpse of Yawgmoth, the Great Destroyer, is in Urborg. That was the black cloud of death that killed, like, 2 billion people across the planet because it was a manifestation of the Lord of Phyrexia emerging upon our world before the great
Disney
heroes...
World.
Yeah, before the great heroes of old destroyed it and basically banished him. Yeah, you know, so that was a thing that happened.
Fun.
So
Yeah.
it's pretty bad. All right.
Yeah, it's pretty negative. Negative is a good way of saying it.
Not an ideal vacation spot.
No. There are people
Maybe if you're undead.
that... there are normal people that live there trying to eke out a living, but, you know... most of them either were murdered by the Cabal or served the Cabal forcefully, or, you know, there were some that survived, like those remaining Panther warriors. But the Cabal's basically in shambles right now, so Urborg's on the mends? I mean, doesn't have a demon-worshipping cult ruling over it anymore.
Yeah, but that's
Most
no
of it.
fun.
No,
Only-
most of them are just out hunting for the demon children.
Yeah, they want to rebuild their cult.
Hi.
Hi, I'm a demon child.
Uh-huh. And if it is the most concentrated amount of black mana in all of Dominaria.
Great.
Yep.
Well, at least we're not going in that direction.
Hey, Maxwell would feel a very strong pull to that place.
Yeah, just a teensy bit.
It's the undead thing that doesn't help with that pattern.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, yes, yes, long ago, our island tried to purge Urborg of the demons. We killed most of them. Some came back.
You missed one.
We missed plenty of them.
Freudian slip there, Claude.
You already mentioned it.
Doesn't mean I want you talking about my mother.
Hmm.
Fuck you. Anyway, are we leaving now?
I'd love to.
That's
Sure.
fine.
Are you mad because he didn't fall for your tricks?
Oh, just a wee bit. I mean, I can't always be a good storyteller, but when I do, it works.
I liked your story.
Thank you. I'm glad someone appreciates it.
The last few times you've tried things, you've nearly gotten us killed.
You're not wrong, and I do apologize for that.
His silver tongue slips up.
Yeah, it's more the tongue than me sometimes.
Well, given that the tongue's attached to you,
It's kind of beyond my control sometimes.
Well, it happens. It's only a matter of time before I accidentally blow up someone important and then everyone's mad at us.
Oh no.
Not it.
valid. I mean, I'm fire resistant. Am I resistant to being blown up?
Probably not. Probably
Well,
not.
if it's being blown up by fire, maybe.
Listen, I'm not the one who said that I should be carrying around the gallon of oil. I am.
I hope you
will
remember
be
that
carrying.
for later, Kazran. Or
Oh,
I
I
have
do.
something in mind.
In another dimension, though, technically.
It is in the pocket. It isn't in my bag. But I have it. And I will use it.
I believe it.
Anyway,
What do you think
are you
Ned's up
buying
to?
anything else? Or are you leaving my store?
No, we're out.
Okay,
We've
bye then.
wanted to walk out for a while now.
Have a good
Sure.
time.
Take care, good sir. Fairly well.
To the boat?
To the boat.
Okay. So the boat you're heading to is one known as the Zuriel. Zuriel is a looks like sailing ship. It does have like a kind of small like paddle system in the back in order to add it, but it looks more for tight maneuverability and maybe going in areas where the wind is bad, more than like the ones that you had. So it's basically built into the bottom of it. Probably this is closer to more modern ships at this point in time, since, you know, there's a lot of artifice a lot in the Dominaria. When you got ancient giant death war machines left over and you like adapt it to like something simple like, my boat have paddle wheels for, you know, when there's no wind. It tends to be nice.
By the way, who is our new friend staying with the ladies then too?
Oh, yeah, Radiant.
Yeah, she's chilling with them.
think that was the determination.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. She's destroying my
Okay.
Okay.
Are we chilling with Nim right now?
Nim is on the ship already. So if you want to go to him, you can chill on the ship. He's like, oh, I thought you were going to finish up in town, but I guess you all done everything? I guess we just wait for, us to head off.
Yeah, the general store wasn't exactly lucrative for all of us, but some of us,
I
yes.
bought a ring. Bought a nice souvenir ring.
It's a very lovely ring, too.
Thank you.
Surprised it was in your size.
I fixed it. I made it.
That explains it.
Well, that is excellent. That's excellent. I guess let's settle in for the journey. Do you have again, if you want to learn anything about where we're going or who we're talking to, I can try to fill in some blanks in case you want to be involved. But if not, I can just take care of things myself, and you can do what you need to do.
What is your history with this individual?
Good question. Irene Vahans is a member of the Vahans merchant family. I did some business with his family a while ago and met with him, and actually, it was through me that he decided to go into studying at the academy originally. I inspired him to. Years later, when I went to the academy in Orvada for some other business with its headmaster, I ran into him and learned that I'd inspired him had that, and we started up some interesting conversations. We, just were some good friends while I was staying there. I've visited him over the years if I'm traveling through, given him advice, given some business, nothing major, simple things.
All right. Good. Fair. Decent relation.
Yes, his family is actually one that I've done business with for many of his generations. But he's the latest in the line of them. He currently would be considered controller of the family's estate, though he is oftentimes not directly in charge of it. I believe his sister is normally left in charge of the day-to-day operations most of the time, even though he has final say in a lot of the major business acclimates of it.
Oh, he wears many caps, it seems.
Well, we must be careful. The Vahans is one of the major merchant families. They are one of the 12 families that are members of the Board of Merchants.
Don't worry, you can leave them to me.
Yeah.
I'm specialized in this.
I'm sorry. Are you aware that it's not what you're thinking? The Board of Merchants is the ruling system of Orvada.
Do tell.
Orvada's a very unique place. It's a strictly merchant class system. There is no nobility or knights, to say. The merchants officially rule it. Though they did open things up in a way. You see, only members of the merchant families can be on the Board of Merchants. But there's oftentimes these little competitions they have within the families. The people get to choose which of them they believe in the families get to represent them the most. And then from the 12, they choose one to preside over them as the an effective president, almost treating it something similar to a country in a way, company in a way.
There's quite a lot of politics involved in this this merchantry.
It's true. It's interesting that they've put together that. I do hear interesting tale that they're planning on opening it up, that possibly smaller families can get into the board, that they're now having these open elections as long as you are a citizen within Orvada of a certain accoutrement.
Sounds interesting.
You mentioned that depending on which role he's playing at the moment.
Would that be an oligarchy?
My-
I'm trying to think of like where like it's the wealthy get to vote, basically.
Rapture?
Yeah, kind of rapture. Except,
Anarcho-capitalist?
yeah, very capitalist society. Anyway, you were saying. Sorry.
You mentioned that depending on which hat he's currently wearing,
What if?
we might have to deal with him in a different manner.
What's up? Uh-oh. Where's Pop-Up? Why don't you go talk to them then, okay, since I'm busy right now. Okay? Come here, though. Give me a hug. If you're not feeling good, go down to them and check in with them. They can help you out.
I'm just really hard.
Okay. You go see what's up with them, okay?
No.
Hugs. Okay. Keep going, good. Okay?
It's too wholesome.
But, well, the thing is that, normally, we would find him at the academy. As I said, he's an instructor there. Either he'd be teaching or studying his various crafts. He specializes in a type of, a very interesting type of illusion magic. He seems to use, shadows to create semi-solid illusions. Very unique. Tricks you never
I'm looking at the rest of you guys as soon as he says shadows.
Fine.
The first boat.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, this could be a problem. A very major one at that.
Fine. Fine.
Should we tell Nim about this?
I don't know.
It'll be fine.
It's an interesting type of magic that was seemingly developed within the Orvadan area. He's one of the a student of it. But anyway, he's
Nim,
yes.
I think there's something you need to know. This shadow performer.
He was on the boat with us.
Right. We
don't know
dealt
if it
with
was
this.
him.
We dealt with this assailant on one of our prior journeys.
What are you talking
and,
about?
No,
don't
Nim
know.
was on the boat with us during that
No,
time.
No, he wasn't.
No, we met him like way after.
Yeah, you met
Yeah.
him when you got to the next land. When you landed.
Yeah.
I thought he was on the boat. I thought he was the
No.
other guy on the
No, that was the old man
No.
who hated you and told you to
Right.
keep it down. Goddamn
Oh,
rats.
no, that's different.
So we've encountered this shadowy individual in the past on one of our prior journeys, and he wished to do us harm.
How
A,
did you?
a shadowy individual. We don't know if it's his friend.
Right.
I did just say it's an actual type of magic that more than one person has studied.
Yes.
I see.
So, you jumping to conclusions that the same person is the same person is much more than just assuming that perhaps you encountered someone that used a similar type of magic. What happened with this person?
Oh, he was in league with some goblins who tried to kill us and take a thing from me personally, which was not fun.
Okay, and what illusions did he use made of shadows?
Well, he dissolved into them.
Oh, no, that seems quite different. As I said, he creates illusions, tricks that are made of
Oh.
shadows.
I see.
Well, this will be fine.
But perhaps
I don't
it's-
suppose there's like an offshoot.
There
school
might
of,
be.
shadow magic. They also
That's the
teach
thing.
in like the back
Oh.
alley.
it's,
You know,
it's
we could ask your friend about this other type of shadow magic.
that's true.
Maybe
It's-
an idea.
It might be a lesser school. You're onto something, Maxwell. If you encountered an individual that's using a type of shadow magic that seems different than the time I've seen him use, it very well could be a derivative. The school of shadow magic, I know, has been around for a few hundred years. It seemed like it settled into this academy when it was built up after the mending. When this branch of the academy...
At the very least, we'll get information.
I believe it actually originated on an island nearby to here. Which one was it? Ah, yes, Vesuva. I believe, at least it seemed like a group of the doppelgangers developed this magic to mixed with their own abilities to shape change.
It could be another. It could be even the original form the magic took.
Yes. Interesting. Well, we can ask him. But anyway, that would, if we see him in the academy, he'd be probably either researching or teaching. In that case, he would be thinking of these kind of things, and we would be able to talk with him in a very mechanic way like that. If we interrupt him while he is actually in business within the city proper, rather than at the campus, he most likely will be at his family's estate or his family's the main branch of his family's company. In which case, he'll be putting on business, and he'd be more likely to ask for something in return from us.
Should we get something ahead of time that he might be interested in?
Oh, I might have something, but we could also see if maybe we could do a little business in town. I don't know. It's a tough one, actually.
If you have 20 gold, they sell red glass figurines here.
That wouldn't be something interesting.
They were pretty interesting. I
They're
could
pretty-
make it glow.
Mayhaps is he interested in obsidian figures?
I
Oh,
don't.
they have those too.
A small trinket, a bribe, if you will not be the kind of thing he's looking for. What he'd be looking for would be, especially if he's in the mindset for running this company, is that his time, in this case, interrupted from the company, reflects some monetary gain. He'd want some kind of trade or some kind of deal that we would have to be middlemen for. Something like if we are going down into the Vota Sea to see the people, the Validians,
To bring him back an object.
he would come with us. He's the master of his vessel. He doesn't use it a lot because he was the one that developed it, but it was interesting. The reason why he was able to develop it is an interesting kind of twist. I found a strange object. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go off on a side tangent. Long story short, I found a unique item that ran on a type of mana that he uses. You see, he harnesses both blue and black mana to use his shadow magic, his shadow illusions. And I found a unique power core that seemed to be able to be infused with that. I believe it was for something entirely different, but he was able to harness it and put it into the wreckage of the submersible that he had acquired and power it. Anyway, there's more to that story too, but I'll keep it as simple as that. But he would want to go down with it. It is his personal craft. He doesn't use it. Last time I heard he used it was perhaps 5 years ago.
Understandable. I too would want to be in my own vehicle had I created it.
It's just that, though he's salvaged what it was and rebuilt it, he doesn't use it a lot. And he has as yet unwilling to sell it to enterprising individuals or part with it to them that would study it and develop it more. But perhaps if we... But anyway, what I was getting to, if we go down there, he'd want some kind of business with those that we go meet. Like arranging to see the E and maybe have some business dealings with the Empire itself.
It's quite the proposition.
It's a difficult proposition is what it is.
We'll see what we can
Fair
do.
people don't seem to very much like outsiders.
Anyway, we'll have to discuss that when we get to Orvada, the city of Orvada. Figure out what's going on. We'll see where he's at and how business is. We could also wait until, if he is in the midst of business, until he returned to the academy. But depending on how the business goes, it could be quite some time of waiting, is the only thing. And I don't know... I would rather not wait too long, personally.
I am in no rush myself. Takes longer. More time to explore the city.
We'll feel it out. I understand the urgency of our client, and I'd rather not make him wait too long.
Okay. And we'll take our break here, as you'll be... the boat will be leaving very shortly. So, if you need to use the bathroom, grab a drink, anything like that, go ahead and do it, and we'll be back in a little bit to continue the adventures.